Now, I tried to make this list have some horror books. Got a couple, but it's mostly thrillers and mysteries. Of course, when you want to cuddle up with a good book. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Nakia. Welcome to my channel. Today, we are here for some cozy fall autumnal book recommendations. So let's just jump right on into it, shall we? So, since I already said in the introduction that I don't really have that many horror books, let's just talk about those. First up, we have the classic The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Now, I'm sure you've seen this on many recommendation lists, and I mean, it's there for a reason. Now, I did not particularly love this book, but I will admit that it is perfect for this time of year. It is a haunted house story. It is cozy, nice, slow pace, slow burn. So if that's what you like, this book is for you. And in case you do not know what it's about, let me give you a little bit of the synopsis. All right, so we are mainly following a young lady named Eleanor who is invited to stay at Hill House for a few nights, I believe, from what I remember. There's a doctor, Dr. Montague, who wants to see if Hill House is haunted, so he invites some guests to stay to check out the house. And as I said, Eleanor is one. There is also a woman named Theodora and a young man named Luke, who is actually an heir to the house. It's in his family. So these four people go to Hill House and stay there for, like I said, a few days. And of course, things happen. You should know the story by now. I don't need to tell you, but like I said, it is a haunted house book. Now, I did not find it scary, so that's why to me it's perfect for a cozy fall read. And Shirley Jackson's writing is just beautiful, but get out your thesaurus and your dictionary because, I mean, it is wordy. But like I said, it's perfect to cozy up with a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever you want. Get your blanket. That's what this book is for. Let's move on. Next up, we have The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. Now, this is a new favorite. It is a historical fiction, haunted house story, paranormal, all of those good things. And in case you don't know, it is about a young woman named Elsie who is newly widowed, and her husband has died under mysterious circumstances. He was at this house that is a part of his family, but he was staying in the house before Elsie was going to join him. So like I said, he died in the house under mysterious circumstances. Elsie is now pregnant with his child, and she is going to go stay in the house as they had planned. His cousin is going to join her. Now, once Elsie gets to this house, she is a little rude to the people who work there that are going to be helping her out. And so she's not the most likable character, so you don't necessarily feel bad if something happens to her. But that's neither here nor there. She discovers a locked room in the house, and she can't have this because, you know, she is the mistress of the house. She needs to know everything that's going on. So she finds a way into this room, and there she discovers a wooden figure and a journal. The journal is left behind by a woman who lived in the house 200 years before Elsie. And in the journal, she finds out that this wooden figure is called a silent companion. And so she decides to keep this companion around the house. It also happens to look a lot like Elsie and her husband who passed away. Now, as soon as they take this wooden figure out the room, things start happening. This wooden figure seems to be moving around the house on its own. The eyes seem to be following people. And the cousin of her dead husband is reading this journal, and we find out what is the deal with this silent companion and the mystery behind that and other things that have gone on in this house. But this book was definitely very comfy, cozy. It takes place in the fall, also winter time. So it talks about cold air and, you know, fireplace, all that good stuff. Got the gas lamps because it's back in those days. So like I said, it is perfect for this time of year. It also has a nice little mystery going on. And like I said, you find out a lot of secrets and things that are in this family. And when you get to the last few pages, I just loved it. It wrapped the story up nicely. But like I said, it is definitely perfect for this time of year. Nice little gothic haunted house story. Let's move on. And while we are on the subject of historical fiction, let's talk about The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Now, again, this is another one I'm sure you've seen on many lists because it is just the perfect, comfy, cozy book. I knew I could not wait to read this book when it got to the fall season, and it was perfect for that. Now, The other aspect I was looking for, not as much. This book is about two dueling magicians, Marco and Celia, and they're a part of this game that is set up, and they end up falling in love, which is forbidden in this game. Once they fall in love, all kind of things happen. Now, that part of the story was a little disappointing for me because of the game nature of the book. I think that's what I was most looking forward to, but what did deliver for me was the magical elements of the story. Erin Morgenstern's writing is just so beautiful. You can just see so many things. I could see all the illusions that she described, the wardrobe, the atmosphere. Oh, like I said, it is just perfect for this time of year. Now, the romance part comes in probably a little bit into like the halfway mark. When it comes in, it is a little nauseating. So if you don't like that, this may not be for you. But if you love a romance and a nice slow burn, slow paced book that it just will take you away to a magical place, this one is perfect for this fall, cozy time of year. All right. Speaking of a book that is perfect for this time of year, we have Candy Coated Murder by Kate Bell. And I forget because there's two authors, but it's here on the screen. You can see. But this was my first cozy mystery and I loved it. This story is about a town called Pumpkin Hollow where every day is Halloween there. And we are following the point of view of a young lady named Mia who is just returning back to Pumpkin Hollow after being away to college for a good number of years. She took the slow route. She changed her major, got her master's degree. Some of us know about that. But yeah, so she comes back home and she goes to work at her family's candy shop, which so comfy cozy. But when she returns home, a murder takes place and she ends up trying to figure out what happened to this person. And I don't want to give it away, but this woman who ends up murdered, I did say woman, she is not liked by a lot of people in town. So there are many, many suspects. This book has some humor. And as I said, I already mentioned, it takes place in Pumpkin Hollow. So there are lots of descriptions of the Halloween aspect, the pumpkins, the candy, just, oh, the atmosphere. I just loved. I'm actually going to be reading book 2 in this month of October. But like I said, the murder mystery was good. The atmosphere, it had some comedy in it. It was just good. I enjoyed it and highly recommend it, especially if you're one who doesn't normally read cozy mystery books. I am like that as well. But again, I definitely recommend this and I will be continuing in the series. I already said that. So let's move on. So we will move right along to another book that took me by surprise, and that would be Finley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Casamano. Now, this is a book that, look at the cover. I would have never picked this book up, but I saw lots of people talking about it and I heard that it was funny and it was a mystery. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna check it out. And I was not disappointed. I loved everything about this book. And let me tell you why. So Finley Donovan is Killing It is about a woman named Finley Donovan, who is an author and she's also a single mother, newly single mother. She is recently separated from her husband and they are in the process of getting a divorce. So she is having a rough time. Also, her agent is on her case about finishing a book so she can, get something going for herself. She's also struggling financially. So she goes to have a meeting with her agent to discuss her new book that she's working on. And it's a mystery. It's a murder mystery. So she starts talking about the murder and all this kind of stuff. There is a woman sitting at a nearby table who overhears this conversation and thinks that she is a murderer for hire, an assassin. So she propositions her to kill her husband for her. And lots of things ensue. This was so entertaining. You don't know where it's going next. This woman, Finley, gets in all kinds of trouble. And I mean, the woman, when she asks her to kill her husband, she makes her an offer she can't refuse. Ignore that. Yeah, but she can't say no because she needs the money. So I'm not going to say what happens. You will have to read the story. But like I said, it is very entertaining. And I put it on this list because a lot of it takes place in the fall time. I want to say it was October. I was surprised when I was reading it. I was like, if I had known, I would have saved this for like October. Once again, I don't know why we got this pink cover. It should have been orange or something, but that's neither here nor there. And book number 2 will be coming out soon. And I cannot wait. I will be reading it. Cannot wait. So highly recommend this one. Okay, this next book is controversial because you either loved it or hated it. I found myself in the middle, which is rare apparently with this book. But I was entertained by this book, which is why it is on this list. I feel that atmospherically, it is perfect for this time of year. And I I will tell you why. But I am talking about none other than Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Now, before you get up in arms. You didn't like this book? I get it. I had issues with this book too, but you cannot deny it is fun. I compare this to like a good little Lifetime cheesy movie where, so many things happen that are unrealistic, but it's entertaining. And that's how I felt about this book. Now, Survive the Night is about a young lady named Charlie who is dealing with grief. Her roommate was murdered by a campus killer. They believe a serial killer. So she is dealing with some things and she is ready to get the hell out of Dodge. She decides she wants to go visit her grandmother and she just cannot wait till the semester ends. Her boyfriend is like, I'll take you. She's like, no, I'm just going to post something on the rideshare board. I'll just hop a ride with somebody. It's fine. I don't know why she would do this when there's a killer on the loose, but whatever. Go with me. So this book takes place in the early 90s. There is no, the internet was not like that then. I was around, I know. But yeah, so she goes, puts up her little posting on the rideshare board. This young man walks up named Josh, and he's like, hey, I'm going in that direction. I could give you a ride. And she's kind of like, okay, sure. Once again, she's desperate to leave. Stay with me. So she's also got a plan. Her man is she's going to check in with him partway through the ride and give him a signal if things aren't going well. And she's also, trying to be extra careful. So when she goes to get in the car with Josh, he goes to open the trunk, but he takes her bags and everything and puts everything in the trunk so she can't see. That's already suspicious. She's a little bit like, what's going on in the trunk? What doesn't he want me to see? Through the course of this ride, it's called Survive the Night because the whole book takes place over one night. As the book goes along, she starts to believe she's riding in the car with the campus killer. And now she has to devise a plan to get away from him because she's now stuck in the car with him. So, of course, it is so entertaining. Each chapter is like different hours of the night. And other people come into the story. It's just so much going on. But a lot of people have an issue with this book because they get frustrated with her and the decisions that she does not make. I was like, that's not what I would do, but that's cool for you. Didn't bother me. There's also an aspect of this book where the way that Charlie deals with trauma is she just loves movies, and sometimes she checks out for a minute and she starts to see things as a movie. So there are parts of the story where we don't know if they're what she's imagining in this movie world or if it's actually what's happening, which makes her an unreliable narrator, and I love it. But when we get towards the end, things get a little extra unbelievable, and then Riley Sager adds a little twist to it that I was not exactly happy with. Once again, it was entertaining, so I couldn't complain too much. I didn't hate it, didn't love it, but I did enjoy it. It was entertaining enough for me, and I think it's perfect for this time of year because, as I said, the whole thing takes place at night. It's cold. Got the heater turned on in the car. They stop at a diner. There's a chalet. It's just like I said, perfect for this time of year. Perfect to cuddle up and just have a little fun. That's what it's for. A little fun. Let's move on. While we're on the subject of Riley Sager, I could not do a list of recommendations without putting Lock Every Door on that list. This book has a special place in my heart because when I first decided to get back into reading this time last year, Lock Every Door was the book that I started with. And if it wasn't for that book, I don't know if I'd be here right now because that book was so entertaining for me. It was a page turner. I could not put it down. It was almost 400 pages long and I got through it in a week, which for someone who hadn't read in years, that was major for me. And it just made me want to read more and more. And here we are now, almost a year later. But in case you don't know, let me tell you what it's about. Lock Every Door is about a young lady named Jules who sees an advertisement for a boarding live-in situation at this apartment called the Bartholomew. This takes place in New York. Now, Jules is going through a breakup. She wants to get the hell away and she needs money. The advertisement is offering a good amount of cash. So she's like, you know what? I'll take this opportunity while I figure out what I'm doing with myself. Now, when she gets to the Bartholomew, there's a woman who is showing her around. I don't remember her name, but she gives her some rules for staying in this place. Now, she's going to have her own apartment. She tells her she can't have visitors and she cannot leave the apartment at night. Okay. Now, we're going along with this because she's desperate for money and some of us know what that's like. So she's just like, okay, these are strange, but I'm a deal. And when she gets to this apartment, she meets another young lady named Ingrid who is staying there under the same circumstances. And Ingrid's acting a little weird. And then not shortly after she meets her, she disappears. And Charlie is not here for this. She's like, what the hell happened to Ingrid? So she starts investigating what is going on in this apartment. And she starts seeing things that are strange. She notices that most of the people who live in the apartment are elderly or older. So like I said, there's a lot of things going on in this apartment that are weird. And you will not know what is going on in this book. Now, the plot twist was nothing spectacular. I kind of saw it coming, but it still was entertaining. And as I said, it is a lot of things going on, action-packed towards the end. I put it on this list because majority of this story takes place in this old apartment building in New York City, and it's just like it has gothic vibes because of like the old elevator in the building, the way they describe her apartment that she lives in. Once again, perfect for this time of year to cuddle up and get into this creepy mystery story. All right, last on the list, kind of segues from the last book, we have The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. Now, this story is based on The Turn of the Screw. So if you know about that story, you know about this. There have been many versions of this story. I found out after I read it, but I put this on this list because this is definitely a slow burn cozy for sure. It takes place in Europe. I don't remember specifically where, but this young lady named Rowan, just like in the last book, sees an ad for a live-in nanny. And she goes to answer this ad. She gets to the house, and this house has state-of-the-art technology, security, everything. The house is basically a smart home. It's controlled by so much technology. I'm not here for that. So she's a little uncomfortable with that. Now, the woman of the house shows her around, and she has 3 children. And of course, one of them is just not nice. And there's a little baby too. Baby's sweet and innocent. And then there's the middle child that just kind of goes along with what the older one says. But the older one is not here for Rowan being in this house. Things start happening where things go missing. You know, she hears sounds, all kind of stuff. It's basically a gaslight situation where she is wondering if somebody's messing with her or if there's a ghost in the house. Now, this is a thriller, so do with that what you may. But when things are described, the sounds that she hears and everything, it definitely gets creepy and spooky. And as I said, it is a slow burn, but things do happen. And because it's in Europe and in this, you know, this older home, it's older, but there are parts of it that are decorated to be more modern, and there's parts of it that are more older furniture and antiques and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, I think it's perfect for this time of year. Comfy, cozy, the way everything is described, the atmosphere, and you know, it's a good little mystery. I rather enjoyed it. It was my first Ruth Ware book. I've also read one by one. This one was better for me, so that is why it is on this list. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my cozy fall autumnal book recommendations. I hope you enjoyed them. Now, feel free to let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books, if you agree with them, disagree that they're not cozy, whatever, that's fine. If you have any cozy fall recommendations for me, let me know in the comments. I love those as well. If you don't have anything to say, but you just want to show me some love, you can leave a little coffee emoji, or they have the little fall leaves. I love those. You can leave one of those emojis below. And I think that's it for this video. So until next time, snuggle up in your hideaway with a good book, unplug as much as possible, be kind to all kind, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.